My name is Deb Lopez, founder of Animal Fairy Charities and co-leader of a national grassroots campaign for animal welfare. I have loved and fostered companion animals all my life, and am now working to help others who are in the trenches every day, rescuing, caring for, and providing for animals in need. And now, Animal Fairy Charities presents Animal Advocate Television, a show designed to help inform, educate, and engage the public on animal welfare issues and provide support and recognition for those who are out there giving of themselves to make things better for our companion animals. So join us as we take you on tours of shelters and rescues right here in Wisconsin. We'll keep you up to date on legislation and laws governing animal welfare and show you ways you can get involved by fostering and adopting. We'll even have a segment for children aimed at teaching them compassion at an early age. So stay tuned and help be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. Animal Advocate Television is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Bark and Scratch Outpost, HAWS, Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine.
We've been a client of Mecca's for several years. Murphy has some complex medical issues needing internal medicine, and the regular vets really struggle with that expertise. UW-Madison has treated us, but I've really needed to find a local vet that has the expertise, and that's what brought us here.
We're going to do a jugular stick on him and obtain a blood sample to recheck his CBC. He did have an infection last time, so we want to make sure that his white cell count is coming down, as well as obtaining a urinalysis for checking for infection there as well.
She's got immune-mediated disease, anemia, so she had a blood transfusion. And so he got stressed for some reason or got an infection in his urine, and you can see he's got very yellow color too, so he's also icteric. And when you get liver disease, you become a little bit yellow, and then you stop eating because you get feeling really sick with liver disease. And once you stop eating, then that makes you sicker and sicker, and you see he got dehydrated, and then we had to place a nasogastric tube. So what we're going to start doing is start feeding him through that tube with a liquid diet and get food back into him. You can see how adorable he is. That's just the cutest.
I most recently had the most experience here. I lived here for about 4 days with a glucose diabetes situation. We had glucose curves 12 hours for 4 days in a row, and her clinical expertise in assuring and knowing what we needed to do every day for the glucose curves to get him stable. He was in a very unstable situation. You don't get expertise like this locally. Driving them, an hour up west is going to be even harder on everybody, and so this is phenomenal.
Bark and Scratch Outpost.
There are simple ways to add moisture to your pet's diet. What we recommend is a half a cup of warm water to every cup of food that you feed your pet. Cold water can be disruptive to the stomach yen, so you want to make sure it's at least room temperature when you pour it over your dog's kibble. Another variety of food that I prefer would be canned or raw. Canned and raw food have enough moisture for your pet, but I still recommend adding some warm water. The warm water is going to help bring out some of the smell, and carnivores are very smell driven when it comes to prey. Another less processed food that's very popular in Milwaukee is the Fresh is Best line. It is freeze dried, locally made, and when you add water to it, you are definitely providing the moisture your pet needs.
The stomach is not the only organ in your pet's body that will benefit from a high moisture diet. The urinary tract can also benefit. When you feed the dry kibble, the kidneys have to work twice as hard to hydrate that meal, especially if there are already underlying urinary tract issues. Adding the water will flush out the kidneys regularly. Without that water, your pet's urinary tract and bladder can become more susceptible to infection.
Here at Bark and Scratch Outpost, we want you and your pets to live happy, healthy lives.
Our helpful staff is available 7 days a week. Bark and Scratch Outpost, 5835 West Blue Mound Road, MilwaukeePetFood.com. We think outside the bag.
MilwaukeePetFood.com. Bark and Scratch Outpost.
You may have thought about it and just not gone through with it. Keep your promise. Adopt a pet from a humane society. There's many wonderful animals waiting for an opportunity to be part of your life.
We put 687 dogs through this program in 3 years. That's a lot of dogs. These are dogs that would otherwise have been euthanized. And we not only saved those lives, but we gave hope to an awful lot of people. Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Claudine McAuliffe and I manage the behavior department here at the Humane Animal Welfare Society in Waukesha County. This is a very, very big department here at our shelter. We're responsible for lots of different programs. We have dog training classes for the community. We have volunteers who train our dogs, work with our dogs. The crown jewel of the behavior department is a volunteer group called the Mod Squad, and this program has been around since December of 2009. It was funded by a grant from the Margaret Cargill Foundation, which we were just so thrilled to receive. And we had no idea at the time just what this program was going to do for our animals here in the shelter. All we knew was that we were evaluating a lot of dogs that didn't pass. And at that point we only had two options, either pass or fail, and the dogs who failed would end up being euthanized because we had no way to deal with their problems. And a lot of the problems had to do with guarding food bowls and not being able to accept handling. So these were serious issues with our program. So the Mod Squad came into being with a group of about 15 volunteers. We had no clue as to how it was going to work out, and actually, as the next year unfolded, the volunteers created the program. I gave them some guidelines, and we would get together every couple of months or so, and we've been able to put together a program that's now in print. And what we're really excited about is that the program is in a format to be able to hand off to other shelters. 2 months ago, we did receive a grant from the Pedigree Foundation that will allow us to reach out to 6 other shelters and help them start Mod Squad programs if they want to.
Hi, I'm Lori Minetti. We as a compassionate nation can no longer look the other way when it comes to our abandoned, abused, or neglected animal companions. It's time for us to step up and be the strength and the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves.
You can be that voice through your tax-deductible donation to Animal Fairy Charities, an organization dedicated to raising and distributing funds to other nonprofit animal welfare groups. Log on to animalfairycharities.org or call 262-989-0604.
Today's show is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Bark and Scratch Outpost, Hawes Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. And now a word from our sponsors.
Bark and Scratch Outpost.
Got pet nutrition? We do. You are what you eat. The same is true for your pet. We offer a large variety of local and national brands, organic and natural pet foods, essential oils, and cleaners. The benefits of feeding a natural pet food are less shedding, less stool, and less illness. A locally produced natural dog food is 40 pounds, $27.99. Our helpful staff is available 7 days a week. Bark and Scratch Outpost, 5835 West Blue Mound Road, MilwaukeePetFood.com. We think outside the bag.
MilwaukeePetFood.com. Bark and Scratch Outpost.
I felt that there was a great need for not only emergency and critical care, but referral work as surgery, internal medicine, critical care medicine, something that was open 24/7. And I was very excited to come down here, open up a new hospital, and bring this type of care to the Milwaukee area. Also, there's nobody in this area that sees exotic pets. So that was another thing that was going to be one of my passions of providing for the Milwaukee area.
Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals. Mecca!
The Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha is so much more than a shelter. Our adoption staff, animal caregivers, and behavior department ensure the best possible adoptive companion. Our spay-neuter programs actively combat pet overpopulation in our area, and our animal rescue team safely returns lost pets back home. PAWS does one-on-one consultations, holds a variety of training classes and seminars, and even hosts camps for kids. Our shelter is and always has been open admissions and full service, providing resources for pets and their people for a happy lifetime together. PAWS, we're building a society that's humane.
Where there's pets, there's fur, and where there's fur, there's vacuums. And nobody knows vacuums better than Jim and Lee from West Bend Vacuum. Lee, what's the latest?
The latest is the Simplicity Synchrony Vacuum Cleaner. Great for pet hair. It has the steel agitator with extra long brushes and a lifetime belt and a 2-motor system.
Jim, what about pet allergies?
Well, we have the IQ Air, the world's best air purifier. It's not 99.9% dust-free, it's 100% dust-free. IQ Air Pro Plus is the air purifier for you.
Call West Bend Vacuum today.
262-335-2222.
Rocks Positive Canine Training is a humane canine training facility offering training for all dogs regardless of breed or behavior problems. Trainer Frank Allison specializes in the badly behaved dog, including but not limited to aggressive and antisocial issues. Rocks Positive Canine Training offers private and group lessons to accommodate your schedule. If you're looking for a trainer for your dog, look to Rocks Positive Canine Training, 262-662-4160.
Are you looking for that special companion? Stop in at Secondhand Purrs, where we can match up your needs perfectly. We're a cat rescue dedicated to the rehoming of abandoned or unwanted cats. We have a wide variety to choose from, babies, young adults, and seniors. Come in and spend some time selecting your new family member, or visit our website at secondhandpurrs.org. We are continually taking in new cats that need a loving home like yours. Come and visit us today.
I have 3 dogs right now. Our oldest is Todd. This little guy sitting on my lap. He's a miniature Chihuahua. We've had him for a while now. He's almost 6, so he's a great little guy. And then we have a 5-year-old Belgian Malinois named Begin, and she's been had a lot of training in obedience and actually protection, and so she's a pretty fun dog to have. And then our dog that's 4 years old, his name's Carl. He's a German Shepherd. It's just a big guy, the biggest one of all of them. He just kind of loafs around the house, and he's kind of our goofy dog. I think dogs are man's best friend just because they find a way to really brighten anyone's day, regardless of how your day is going. They're always there for you regardless. They don't have the ups and downs I feel like that we as humans do. And so maybe I think we can learn a little bit from them, and they have a lifestyle that they just want to hang out and see everybody and make sure everyone feels happy, and they greet them and right when you walk in the door. So I think it's a natural relationship. I had a bunch of hamsters growing up. When I was young, for a long time, I had multiple fish, and then 3rd grade we actually got a golden retriever. We named him Griffey after Ken Griffey Jr., the baseball player, and he was an awesome family pet for us. I have 2 older brothers, so he was great to us, and he actually just passed away about 2 or 3 years ago. But with my 3 dogs now, there's always something going on in the house. They seem to do really well. They don't really chew on anything or do anything bad, but they'll let you know they're there if you're ignoring them. The bond between pets and humans, I think, is something that's, if anyone that's never had a pet needs to, I think I would definitely tell them, give it a shot, give it a try, because if you find the right pet, it's amazing. Dogs, cats, whatever you want, whatever animal that is, when you find that right pet for you to match up with the humans, it seems that it's just a really natural relationship, and it's just something that I've been really fortunate to always have great animals, and I plan on having animals for the rest of my life. I would definitely tell my daughter and any future kids we have to find whatever animal that is, to find one and really, see what kind of relationship you can have with them. Because my little daughter is only one right now, but she loves our dog. She says dog, that's one of her first words. And she just, whenever they walk in, she lights up, and she's always crawling and chasing them all around, chasing this little guy around all the time, trying to find them and pet them. And it just seems very very fun for her. And I don't think there's any chance she's going to be scared of dogs when she grows up.
In an effort to help save the lives of more animals, Animal Fairy Charities, along with Animal Advocate Television, will be launching a new campaign to help raise awareness for shelter animals. If you think about these statistics, there are over 23 million people who will get a new pet next year. Approximately 17 million people have not made a decision on how they will acquire that pet. Their choice is either to purchase their pet through a commercial source or adopt their new pet from the local animal shelter. That said, did you know that approximately 3 to 4 million animals in shelters are being euthanized each year? When you look at the math, it doesn't seem tough to save more lives if even a small percentage of people would adopt their new pet. Help us reach out to the community in an effort to educate and inform your friends, family, and coworkers about the need to love shelter animals. Join the movement to adopt your new pet until no healthy and treatable animal is euthanized.
Our loyal companion animals provide us with unconditional love, yet many of them end up abandoned. The lucky ones end up in shelters and rescues with a second chance for a new life. Fortunately, there are people out there willing to give their time, love, and resources to help give back to our animal companions. But the costs for food, shelter, medical, or even transportation to care for these animals can be staggering. Please log on to animalfairycharities.org or call today 262-989-0604 and give something back to those who give so much.
The Milwaukee Animal Rescue Center was incorporated in 2005 out of a direct need to assist animal control in Milwaukee County. We designed our program to assist only those agencies that were facing euthanasia and overcrowding decisions. Since 2005, we have rehomed successfully over 3,500 animals that would likely have otherwise been euthanized. Here at the Milwaukee Animal Rescue Center, we have two main cat galleries. One here is our blue room. This is our cage-free housing room. We believe in freedom of movement and cage-free housing whenever possible. We also believe in providing animals with appropriate stimuli to keep them engaged and active and exercised and properly socialized. This is our kitchenette area. In this space, we will prepare the medications for the day, the canned food or prescription diet that might be required of a particular cat. We also have a dishwasher, safe housing for our vaccines and medications and food supply, all right, very unique in between the two main cat galleries. The second main cat gallery is here, the green room. This is a room that does have cages, however we still maintain our philosophy of cage-free housing when possible. So on a day like today, while we're closed, we do have a group of 3 cats that are out at the moment. These are all cats that are known to each other. Although in our housing situation they don't have to come in having been bonded, we will acclimate social groups together because we feel very strongly that cats in particular do better in a social group. This room here is our small meeting room. Right now it is housing a long-term cat that we've had. She's a senior cat. She doesn't play well with others, but she loves her humans. So in order to keep her engaged and socialized, we are housing her in here rather than having her in a cage, because we do anticipate having her for long term. This area back here is our isolation and nursery area. Right now we have just one little kitten who's housed back here. She is getting more acclimated and having a little bit more freedom in this back office area, but at night when we leave we do put her away. All of our nursery cats have heated beds as well as food and water bowls that they can get to that is age appropriate for them. This is Daniel. Daniel, as you can see, has very large paws. He has 26 toes. He has 2 extra toes on each paw. Daniel entered our program not quite 2 years ago at a time that we were losing our lease from our previous location. It was sort of good timing, dumb luck, great fortune, all of the above. We challenged the community to donate $1 per toe for Daniel's 26 toes, and the response was overwhelming. And as a result of his efforts, we were able to put a down payment on this beautiful property where we now sit.
He was on a kill buyer's truck. He had been sold for meat.
Came out very promising.
He won over $245,000.
Toxic, carcinogenic.
We're talking about taking animals that have been treated with prohibited drugs and slaughtering them for food.
Going to be delicacies for some meal?
It could be very dangerous to consume this meat.
That is a huge professional ethical issue.
You know, people in France eating American horses that came off the track.
People who starve their horses are getting paid, being allowed to sell these animals.
I don't think anybody, a farmer, people in agriculture, horse owners, I don't think those people really realize how the cruelty is becoming so severe.
It's horrendous. They're jumping all around and screaming, and good heavens, what kind of people are we? How do we do that?
Why, if the USDA guys went in there, why didn't they shut them down?
Bureau of Land Management has created its own crisis.
They didn't want us to see what they did to the horses.
I was lied to. I was threatened.
It seems like our whole country is bound and determined to eradicate the horses.
Our wild horses are disappearing.
More roundups, the more reason to have the slaughterhouses back.
Like a modern-day Trail of Tears. They're being forced off of their land.
What the government has done to Indian people, and for us to turn around and slaughter horses is like cutting out our own heart.
Hi, I'm Jane, a volunteer with Secondhand Purrs. Do you love cats and kittens but can't have any of your own? Well, come on down. There are many ways that you can make a difference in their lives. You can volunteer at the shelter, you could volunteer at some of our events, you could donate, you could bring in many of our needed items. There are many, many things that you could do to help us and help our cats.
The reason I decided to set up this Vesta-Dog Foundation, it's because we work with all the police dogs, sheriff dogs, the House of Correction dogs, and they all come here to do first aid classes and learning how to practice first aid on their dogs in case they have problems out in the field. And then we also help them with emergency situations. If their dogs ever get hurt or injured or have any problems, they come here for emergency and critical care. And so I decided that all of these dogs, my strong belief is that they should have a vest. The officers all wear vests, so the dogs should have a vest. And my belief is that they are actually the ones that go out first and go after the burglar or go into a house, and they're the first one that is in the line of the gun or knife, and they should also be vested. So my big plan was, why don't we start up this foundation, and with the goal that every single police, sheriff, House of Corrections dog in the Wisconsin area should be vested. And I also set up the foundation so that we could help in purchasing dogs for the police departments and sheriff departments of Wisconsin. And that's my goal.
Today's show is brought to you by Milwaukee Emergency Center for Animals, Bark and Scratch Outpost, Hawes Humane Animal Welfare Society, and Fetch Magazine. Dear fellow animal advocate, my name is Deb Lopez, founder of Animal Fairy Charities. I am writing you today for support in helping make Animal Advocate Television possible. Your financial support in the way of sponsorship or donation will not only show the community you care, but will give voice to those who cannot speak for themselves. Call me at 262-989-0604 for more information on how you can be that voice. Most sincerely, Deb Lopez, Animal Fairy Charities.